Thank you, live stream. Thank you, live stream. Check 1, 2. All right. Give this a shot. This week on the Media Virus Podcast. Immediately regretting that she said yes, a Turkish woman plunged to her death down a 100-foot cliff. A retired Air Force major turned whistleblower has ensured that he should never get into a hot tub or a small plane ever again by testifying to Congress about UAPs. That's a fancy government acronym for UFOs. And it seemed like everything was going well for Sinead O'Connor, and then wham! Dead at 56. All this, more news. We discuss the broken link list, Murphy's Law, and how it screwed us all out of Maddie's TikTok Nonsense Corner, and just the tips on this 142nd episode of the Media Virus Podcast. Yeah, podcast. It's the Media Virus Podcast. Let's point and laugh at the world burning around us with executive producer Mike Latoris. We're going to start over. BBC correspondent Stanley McFadden.
Makes me tingly in an unfamiliar way.
Grease Monkey Pete.
Damn, Big Daddy.
Here's the thing about the Media Virus Podcast. It's really well done.
And now, spreading the sage nihilism of an aged Gen Xer, your host and mine, the star of our show, the incomparable Maddie Rockdeath.
Hot damn, do we have a show for you people this week. I am Maddie Rockdeath, the Maddiest of all Rockdeaths and proof positive. Anyone can have a podcast. Speaking of, welcome to the Media Virus Podcast. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share. You know what, Mike? I want to take a minute and I want to thank all of our new subscribers.
Every one of them.
Every one of them. Thank you.
And you over there, and you in the back. We saw you too.
That's right. We see you. We love it. We thank you. You can always give us a call. Oh, you know what? I forgot to invite everybody over to take a minute and head on over to themediavirus.com. Forgot to do that. But you can give us a call, 1-646-VIRUS-01. That is 1-646-VIRUS-01.
As seen right over my head most nights.
And you might make it on the show. Who knows? Part of the reason I'm screwing up so bad is I'm not reading anything. I'm just kind of winging it tonight. We're all
winging it tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's but you know what? Sometimes we get our best stuff that way. And so we figured, and the show goes off no matter what.
That's right.
But, speaking of Murphy's Law, there's a whole lot of shit that we want to get into. I'm thinking that's in the B block.
Yeah, as far as a discussion.
Right. But speaking of that, so here's the thing, right? I told you about, last week. Now, this weekend, we were supposed to go down to Rehoboth Beach.
Right.
Because her family from both Massachusetts and Northern New Jersey, they rented a house.
Oh, cool.
In Rehoboth, and we were going down to catch the ass weekend. So it was the last weekend.
Yeah.
Right. And
And when you get that many people together to rent a house, you can rent a very nice house in the Rehoboth area for that.
Oh, sure. And it was a condo. It was gorgeous. We were not part of the kick in. We just showed up for a day, or we were supposed to show up for an evening.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I'm pretty sure I think it was pretty affordable, considering. And there was so anyway, we were supposed to go, and I had a job interview on Friday.
Okay.
Hence the fresh cut.
Right.
Fresh haircut that I'm sporting at the moment. It was the first time I've had short hair, I think, in about 5 years. And Thursday, Erica got paid, and we decided to go out. We went to the Chinese buffet down in is it Newcastle?
Okay.
So I mentioned the job interview because I was up near where my son lives, or closer to where I would normally be. So what I did was, as soon as I got out of the interview, and this time on the job interview, I didn't mention the podcast. Anyway, it was an actual job interview. Like, I went there.
Right.
So
they have those still.
I know, it's fucking weird. So
everybody wants to do like Zoom meetings or like pop-ins or whatever,
So we go up, we go out to dinner. I'm up around noon up by where my son lives. So I go pick him up to save time so I can go visit my parents before we go to Rehoboth.
Mm.
So I go pick up my wife about 4:30. And on the way there, she starts burping sulfur. You know what that means? That's food poisoning. That's what that is. And she hadn't eaten anything that day. Yeah. So we're there with my parents, and she's not feeling well. And so, we get home. There's the wet works, right? Of course. And then she's sick through the next day. Now, I already had Ryan, and Ryan loves, Erica's family, like everybody in Erica's family, and really wanted to see them. She did too, of course.
Right.
So, we wound up not going on Saturday, and, left what was supposed to be early Sunday morning. It wasn't that bad, but I don't think we got on the move on until like 8:30.
Right.
So, we had to sit. Traffic was all right. Everything went fine, but I did pull something off, and I don't know. I don't know if we talked about it last week.
I don't think so.
But I had seen several. Maybe we did. I'd seen several articles about a high fecal bacteria count in the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, well, maybe Rehoboth isn't that bad. But then you pass by a substation on the way there. Like shortly after you get off the highway, we passed on the way to the house that they were at. There was a sewage substation.
It's not even a substation. It's the Rehoboth Beach. If you're where I think you are, it's the Rehoboth City of Rehoboth
municipal waste. Yeah. Okay. And I was like, what?
It's a fantastic facility.
You took a tour of it?
Yeah.
You see turds floating?
It was years ago. Yes.
All right. Cool.
We went into the raw sewage room and
got to play.
Where that pipe comes in, all kinds of awful, unmentionable, horrible things come popping out of that pipe.
Oh my God! And that's a room?
Yeah, it's it's on the second floor of a building where because the pipe.
They actually offer a tour.
It was for a summer school that I went to for extra credit. It was they got us lined up with the tour. I toured the one up here in Wilmington as well.
Hey kids, let's go see some turds.
I used to go to summer school for extra credit too, but the extra credit was to get me to pass. And I just don't like I'm not a fan of the ocean. I voiced my opinion on the ocean many, many times, on the shore, everything. Now, Rehoboth ain't so bad because it's a pleasant area, right? But it gets hot. There's sand. I'm not. Why anybody would want to go sit on sand is fucking beyond me. It's fucking beyond me. Dude, listen, here's the thing. When there's a dude that you work with and he complains too much, you accuse him of having sand in his pussy. Right? Isn't that what you accuse him of having?
Yeah.
Right. Because sand is a terrible thing to get into any crack or crevice. Your ass, your taint, your toes. It's terrible. I don't know. I don't understand why anybody would do that.
I love being on the beach.
Do you really?
Yes.
Explain it to me. Are you just a sadist that like that you just?
No, man. It feels right to me. I love being on the beach.
It feels right to you.
Yeah.
You know what you do if you want to get an old finish, something when you stain wood, right?
Yeah.
It's called stain. If you want to try to remove as much as that possible, you know what they do?
They sandblast, yeah.
They sandblast it or they sandpaper it. Either way, they're using fucking sand. It removes the finish off of automobiles.
Yeah.
Right. Why would anybody want to go?
Man. You can't change my mind. We belong near the ocean.
I am a mountainous ape. I figured this out. I've thought about this long and hard. I am a mountainous ape. That's what I am. I want to be up in the mountains where the sun's not too hot. There's plenty of water sources around. You know what I mean? That's me. And I get kind of understand. Again, I'm an odd duck. Not a big fan of sports, but I get why people participate.
I've been to Arizona, like out in the desert, and my allergies literally go away.
Now, see, that I would consider.
And it's amazing, but there's no ocean. And that's
here's the thing. I went to Jamaica. Jamaica was terrific. Right? And, the water's clear.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that has a big thing to do with it is being able to see your feet when you wade into the water.
Right. Like it's like a murky, goopy shit mess. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. Let alone go in it, like up past your mouth, like past any orifice. Why anybody would want to do that? It not only that, being fat all the time, most of my life, I would always wear shirts while swimming.
That really makes that really takes away from the experience too.
It does. And the fact that I wore jeans I never wore shorts because I was fat. I wear, a t-shirt and jeans. So the experience of summer was always a little bit heavier on me, right? Anyway, did it to myself. It's my own fucking fault. I made myself fat and I dressed myself stupid. But here's the thing. But, when you wear a shirt into the ocean, it stings the nipples.
Because it eventually rips the skin off of them.
Right. It's terrible. And again, I just don't understand the desire for participation. If I were say I had just been proposed to,
right?
I was about to get married, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other person suggested to me that we get married on the beach,
right?
I would jump off a cliff immediately.
Really?
Yes.
It's interesting you say that because that may be the explanation that we need. A woman plunges to her death from a 100-foot cliff moments after marriage proposal.
No preparation needed. I winged that fucking segue. Nailed it.
A Turkish.
That isn't all. Now, did she plummet or did she fall?
Well, it says
she jump.
Fall. So let's dig into this a little bit. A Turkish couple went to a seaside cliff to celebrate their engagement, only for the bride to fall to her death moments after the proposal. We chose it to have a romantic memory after the proposal. We drank some alcohol. Everything happened at once. She lost her balance and fell down. Nizamettin Gursu, the would-be groom, told local news outlets. Yasim Demir, 39, fell over the edge of the 100-foot cliff at Polente Cape Pin Pamukkale in northwestern Turkey, where the couple had hoped to watch the sunset on July 6th. Gursu returned.
Are there any pictures? The reason I ask, because if there's no pictures and no video, okay,
did it really happen?
I don't necessarily believe she said yes. You know what I mean? It was probably like, she said no, and then he threw her off a fucking cliff, right? And then in the interview, damn, she's hot.
Yeah.
Not anymore, though. Okay, so there are pictures. Are there any pictures of her after? I want to see if she's still hot.
No, I don't think so.
I want to see if she's still hot.
She's flat at that point.
Don't make fun of her bosom size, Pete. I'm with her.
No, I'm talking on like a whole body scale. Like when she hit the ground.
Like all over the place flat?
Like splat.
You don't know. It looked pretty rocky down there. It could have improved her bosom size.
Well, apparently he went back to the car to get the picnic meal, and he heard a scream, and he ran back to find his fiancée at the foot of the cliff. No, that doesn't sound suspicious a bit, does it?
No.
She initially survived the fall, but medics declared her dead after 45 minutes of resuscitation efforts, the Sun reported. Local authorities closed off the area and opened an investigation.
If she was alive, why were they trying to resuscitate her for 45 minutes?
I don't know, but apparently it killed her.
It wasn't the fall that killed her. Well, here's the thing. He wasn't counting on her making it through.
I'm trying to save you.
Right. She
hold still. Stop fighting.
Hold still.
She said no.
Save you.
Yeah, I mean, she took pictures for the gram. That's what she thought was going on.
Right.
Taking pictures for the gram. Okay. And then motherfucker gets down on one knee and she's like, ew, no, you're broke and you have a small cock. It's exact. I remember this. I saw her do this. She said, you're broke and you have a small cock. Then he got up from one knee in one fluid motion and just shoved her right over the fucking cliff. Right. Then, to his dismay, she survived. So he's like, I tried to resuscitate her with pillow. I stick pillow over the face. She never came back.
Well, maybe, but I thought maybe she just reconsidered and said, you know what, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, she took a look at his ass as he was walking away, and she's like, no. I'm not looking at that flat fucking ass for the next 40 years. So
I do. Yes.
It's terrible. Terrible thing. It didn't happen in this country, so we can make fun of it.
Sure.
It was in Turkey.
Sure.
We'll use that logic.
We can make fun of it. It's not a tragedy if it doesn't happen near you.
Yeah, I guess the not in my backyard scenario.
Well, no, humor is tragedy times distance times time. Okay, so if the tragedy is close by, you can make fun of it after like a decade. But if the tragedy is far away, then you can just make fun of it right away. Also, it's never too soon if time is relative.
That's right.
There's a lot of factors at play.
You could lose the joke.
Right. So I think we timed it perfectly with enough distance to make it funny. All right, Pete?
Got it.
Good.
It seems like far enough away over here.
All right, what's next? UFOs, dude.
Yeah, this whistleblower, he's really sealed the deal for himself. He should never get into a hot tub or a small plane again. He's
blowing Congress right now.
Right, but he should never ever get into a hot tub or a small plane ever again.
No, he would be absolutely fucked.
Yes.
I would avoid not lock. I would lock your door, but I don't even think just if the state wants to get you, dude, the state's going to get you.
Yeah, but you can't be silly. You got to stay out of the hot tubs because you'll end up in there with the lid on.
Oh my God, yeah.
And two to the head, gun in your left hand.
Wait, didn't that happen?
Probably.
Wasn't that a Clinton advisor?
I think so.
You hear about Obama's fucking cook?
Yeah, he didn't make it.
He knew something.
So this whistleblower is telling Congress about the U.S. concealing a multi-decade program that captures UFOs. The U.S. is concealing a long-standing program that retrieves and reverse engineers unidentified flying objects. A former Air Force intelligence officer testified Wednesday to Congress. The Pentagon has denied his claims. Retired.
Why? Didn't we already fucking release files that said UFOs were real? Like all this didn't we already go through this?
Yeah, it was. They never admitted that they were extraterrestrial. But a UFO is simply an unidentified flying object.
They don't even call them that. They call them UAPs.
UAP, yeah, that's the new acronym. Of course, UFO
terrible.
is the old one.
UFO is fucking badass. Okay?
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
That's dumb.
Is UAP. And
that's dumb.
Well, it also covers a lot more. And it becomes more vague.
Right. So an unidentified aerial phenomenon
is anything that happens in the sky.
Right. So a UFO can technically be. So you have UFO, UAP. Boom.
Yes. In theory, they are two different things.
Damn right they are.
Retired Major David Grush's highly anticipated testimony before the House Oversight Committee was Congress's latest foray into the world of UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena, which is the official term the U.S. government uses instead of UFOs. While the study of mysterious aircraft or objects often invokes talk of aliens and little green men, Democrats and Republicans in recent years have pushed for more research as a national security matter due to concerns that sightings observed by pilots may be tied to U.S. adversaries. Grush said he was asked in 2019 by the head of a government task force on UAPs to identify all highly classified programs relating to the task force's mission. At the time, Grush was detailed to the National Reconnaissance Office, the agency that operates U.S. spy satellites. I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program to which I was denied access, he said.
How the fuck do people think we got iPhones? Reverse engineering of alien technology. That's how it happened. I'm sick of this shit. Steve Jobs was a fucking shyster.
Asked whether the U.S. government had information about extraterrestrial life, Grush said the U.S. likely has been aware of non-human activity since the 1930s.
Yeah. Dude, everybody knows the alien connection to the Nazis. Everybody. If you don't know the alien connection to the Nazis, they wanted them to win. They gave them all. Dude. All right, go watch Oppenheimer. Okay, that was our big project. Okay, but you know what Germany had? Not as dangerous, not as big, but rocket technology with gyroscopes that had never been done before. And thank God for the combination. Well, you know what? Thank God that instead of killing the Nazi scientists, we brought them on to our side and combined that missile technology with the atom bomb.
Sure.
Right? That's what's kept the peace this long.
It sure
Problem is, nobody believes we'll use them now.
That's right.
We need to prove them wrong.
You got to throw one of those around, apparently, every now and again.
You have to. You got to swing your dick around.
According to the latest Indiana Jones movie, there was time travel technology that the Germans had their hands on.
Yeah, they did.
Don't you think they would have done a little bit better if they had time travel?
No, you know what it was? It was because Hitler was obsessed with the occult.
Yes.
So Hitler's plan was to interject himself into history, interject the Nazis, interject this ideology, interject it all into history to prove his point, to solidify his ideology.
It just seems to me we wouldn't be living in a world where Germany lost World War II if they had reasonable control over time travel.
Well, I think.
I mean, personally, I would have had a redo until I liked the outcome.
No, we destroyed it. The Bell, it was called.
Yes, I remember. I'm familiar with the.
Yeah. We destroyed it with their own V2. If I understand, if my video game, if my video game history is accurate,
Your video game history.
I played me a lot of Medal of Honor and Call of Duty.
Okay.
Very good, but also my mother was born in 1935. Okay, so as a small child, in Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
she was terrified of Hitler, terrified of him as a
Yeah.
child. I mean, as you would probably normally would be.
Right.
My father being in the Midwest in a mainly German community had a different perspective. So, the two of them together, coming together to raise me. Now they're both half Irish. Here's fun. They're both half Irish, but my dad's Protestant, my mom's Catholic.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
that makes it better.
So this was a whole theme throughout my entire life. All these different conflicts, and why the English are bastards, and why the Catholics are bad. You know what I mean?
And the Protestants.
And my dad
Pretty
never
much.
spoke poorly of the Protestants. I'll tell you that much. What were we talking about?
Oh, alien.
UFOs. We were talking about
Aliens.
aliens. Okay, everything tracks. Everything makes sense with the topic. Don't
But
you?
yeah, this guy has blabbed about all this stuff, and they're probably just going to make him out to be a crazy at this point.
He does. I watched some of the footage, man. Thank God people can make TikToks. Because if it wasn't for TikToks and video games, I don't think I would know anything. He doesn't come off as crazy.
I would
He
imagine.
doesn't. No, he comes off as a respected military elite. He comes off as.
I've heard some things from people that I respect and believe, and no, I would agree that he probably comes off pretty okay, but he'll be made out to be crazy. That's how they fix these leaks.
I mean, this is before Congress.
Uh-huh.
He's blowing Congress right now.
Well, the Warren Commission was before Congress, too.
It's true.
And speaking of the Irish...
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
We lost Sinead O'Connor today.
Anybody here a real
Yeah.
big Sinead O'Connor fan?
No.
Pete?
I mean,
I
no,
thought it was
not
cool
exactly,
that
but
she stood up as an activist. She stood up for what she believed in and really didn't.
I mean, I remember. There's two things I remember about Sinead O'Connor. I remember that terrible fucking song. Nothing compares. Nothing compares to you.
Right.
If
I
that
prefer Chris Cornell singing it anyway. So
if that is a example of good singing, then I don't understand life at all.
Right.
That song was terrible. And
But it's a
then
hit.
what?
But it was a hit.
It was a hit for some reason, but it was fucking terrible. It didn't last. Like there are songs from that time frame that you still hear on the radio.
Yeah,
That's not one of them.
No, that's a rarity that one pops up.
And I remember her doing a acapella cover of a Bob Marley song and tearing up a picture of the Pope.
And everybody says that ended her career. She says that was actually the beginning of her career. So,
I mean, it completely took her out of the spotlight.
which she's apparently okay with.
I mean, but here's the thing. When I saw that happen, I mean, my sensibilities, I was what, 15, 16, something
Yeah.
like that.
It was bold,
96.
though.
It was bold.
It
It
was very
was bold, but I knew in the bottom of my heart, I was never going to have to hear that shit song again. I was never going to have to hear that shit song again. And I mean, I didn't quite get the point. I mean, the big Catholic scandals hadn't really
Right.
erupted. I think that might have been like one of the fuses that lit. You know, I think she struck a nerve, and good for her. And I don't hate her. I hate her music. That's all. I mean, I get why people love her, and you know, I should be as an Irishman more, you know, but I just hated her music. I hated that song so fucking much. So much. To the point where when it came on the radio, I would change to the hip hop station. Is how much.
That's a testament.
I think that song is how I discovered AM talk radio.
Okay.
Just looking for something else to listen to, because I hated.
So it was 1992 when she did the.
So in 92,
the Pope John Paul thing.
So it must have been my sophomore year.
Yeah, we would have been about. I think we would have been about 16 in 92. Yeah, we would have been 16 in 1992.
I was graduating high school that year.
So I
was 17. Yeah.
I keep forgetting that you're actually older than us.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
It is kind of weird. By 2 years, according to your high school graduation.
Yeah, I graduated 94.
I was supposed to graduate 94.
When did you graduate, Eddie?
I got my GED.
Okay. Hey,
Is it enough diploma?
Dude, I got my GED the year I got my GED 2 months after I was supposed to graduate. God, I feel like fucking school was stupid. I didn't benefit a goddamn. I learned more. I retained more in Catholic school failing than I would have in a public school. I guarantee you. I just because the demand, everybody else was held to such a standard.
Right.
My buddy got arrested his senior year.
But when I took my number grades, like not the A, B, C, but the actual like numbers,
right,
I passed public school. I just didn't pass Catholic school. So when I went to public school, what they wanted me to do was just take the classes
and go through the motions
that I would have taken. They don't want me repeating those classes. They want me to take. So I technically failed algebra. They wanted me to take algebra 2. And they're like, well, judging by your numbers, you pass. But I still would have had to make the credits or whatever, because for whatever reason, I would have had to go for my junior year, the year after my 5th year. I would have just taken the classes that I failed junior year. So I went through the motions, and I knew I was going to do this. I was in school in Pennsylvania. I knew I was coming home to Jersey to take the fucking test. This was all happening. I didn't give a fuck. I knew I had to get an 8 to pass my biology final. I went in, I answered 8 questions and left. Not give a shit.
Like 8 out of 100 points, or like
I had to get 8 out of 100 points.
You needed 8.
8 to pass, just to pass. And then whatever, like it would have gotten factored in. If I'd have gotten an 80 or a 90, my grade would have been like a C. You understand what I'm saying? Because I knew the shit. I just never did my homework. It always bothered me that I had to fucking go to work for 8 hours. I had to go to school for 8 hours and then come home and do fucking homework. I'm like, if you can't teach me in the fucking time I'm there, go fuck yourself. This was my look back at my attitude in school. I'm sure it was just pure laziness that I just didn't want to. Like, it was bullshit. It is bullshit that we send kids home with all this fucking homework.
Yes. I
know,
agree with that.
it is fucking stupid. But yet we do it, and we're just teaching them garbage. It's not like we're, most kids can't even fucking read cursive.
Yeah, that's true. My
You know how important they told me my handwriting was going to be?
Yeah, right.
Seriously. Both of my sons, I have one son that went to UPenn, and I have one son that has autism. Their handwriting looks almost identical. Almost fucking identical.
And
he went to UPenn with chicken scratch.
I was going to say, is it that scratchy serial killer looking writing?
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfucking believable. My mother used to make me fucking sit and just make circles on the paper and stay in the lines. Just sit there. And if I made the circle too loose, or if I went, she smacked me in the fucking hand with a ruler. Because the nuns couldn't hit me, but she could. That was what she said to me. She's like, the nuns won't do it, but I will. So my handwriting isn't even that good, but it kicks the dog shit out of this, you know.
My handwriting's awful, and it's because I've moved away from a lot of actual writing, other than stupid notes to myself that I don't want anybody else to read most of the time.
Right. So I don't know how we got on that, but I know that Sinead O'Connor song was terrible.
Yep.
Can you name any other song?
How did she die?
Sinead O'Connor.
No, I could not.
I was just looking up Sinead O'Connor songs because I was like, I don't remember ever listening to any other Sinead O'Connor song other than.
Oh, because you didn't buy the fucking album, did you?
Exactly. There was no way I was spending good money on.
We know what album I bought? The Cranberries.
Oh,
they were fucking good.
Now the Cranberries. Yeah.
That bitch had a voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She died, didn't she?
Yes, she's gone now too.
She had a fucking. Yeah. She had a voice.
Her yodel was spectacular.
Oh my God! Jerk off to it. It was fucking incredible. Did I just say that? Yeah.
You did.
Anyway.
And we were quiet and watched you.
All right. But yeah, the Cranberries, fucking fantastic band. And all of even their shiny, like happy, like songs. They had sad songs.
Mm-hmm.
They had cool, like Zombie. Of course, everybody loves Zombie.
Yeah. Who
doesn't fucking love that song? The song is incredible. Gee, they sang about the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't even need to.
I wish to offer the theory that Sinead O'Connor died at 56 to further the life of Mick Jagger, who turned 80 today.
Jesus Christ. Sinead was sacrificed to the altar of Jagger.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to suck 24 years out of her so he can move on a little bit.
He's trying to keep up with Keith Richards.
Well, they're about the same age, aren't they?
Yeah, but Mick Jagger at 80 still looks like he's about 15. And Keith Richards, who looked like he was 115 when he was, 25, looks like he's 116 now.
So how did Sinead O'Connor pass?
There's not been any indication. They haven't
listed a cause of death.
But they did mention that a few weeks ago she was like, I'm retiring from music. I'm never doing this again. Thanks. It's been real. And then like a week and a half later, she was like, I'm going to book a tour. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see you guys on the road. So I don't know if there was maybe some mental health issue at play, but I
read something
like
she was distraught over her son. Something going on in her son's life.
I didn't catch
I
it.
didn't read too deep into it.
Yeah,
I know she had cancer when she was popular. With didn't she? When during that song was out, she had no hair at all.
Right, but I think that was more just about.
That was just a statement. That wasn't any indication of her health. No, literally, that was the only time Sinead O'Connor got brought up was when you saw a girl with a shaved head. You were like, oh look, she's doing the Sinead O'Connor.
In January 22, her 17-year-old son Shane was found dead after being reported missing 2 days previous.
Oh, that sucks.
Writing on social media following his death, she said that he had decided to end his earthly struggle and requested that no one follow his example. The singer later canceled all live performances for the rest of 2022 during her continuing grief following the death of her son. O'Connor paid tribute to Shane in one of her final tweets, calling him the love of my life, the lamp of my soul. We were one soul in two halves.
That sounds like a suicide note to me.
Yeah. They don't come right out and say it, but it alludes to the fact that maybe she
did.
Yeah.
No, it's a shame. It's a shame that he did too. But I mean, what would you do if Sinead O'Connor was your mother? You had to hear that fucking song all the time.
Yeah.
Mom, not again. Mom. No more tours, Mom. Mom.
Remember, it's tragedy plus time plus distance.
Times distance. So, yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Time is short, but that's way over there. It's almost as far as Turkey. Right?
Sure.
Can you imagine how rough it must be when all of your friends' dads want to bang your mom? I mean, that's who they are, right? I mean, these are guys who looked at the bald chick back in 1990 and were like, I'd give that a shot.
Shane's mom's not that bad. I mean, if she put a wig on her or just lay her down in a really plush blanket.
Wow.
So yeah,
time plus distance plus tragedy, of course.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be physical distance. Can be emotional distance. Like,
yes,
tragedy is when I stub my toe. You know, or, comedy is when Pete falls down a manhole. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have to admit, early '90s Sinead O'Connor, even with no hair, was kind of cute, right?
I mean, she was, but she looks kind of, she looks sticky.
Yeah, you're right.
She always wore like
I'll give you that.
Like shawls, or look, she's wearing a priest outfit there.
Well, she
always looked like she was a member
converted
of a
to Islam.
And she converted to Islam later in life. She
always looked like a cult member.
And now she just looks like she just looks like a middle-aged woman.
Yeah,
they all do that.
Yeah, they all have tattoos and
pretty much anymore, because middle-aged women are Gen X.
Yep.
So they all have like shaved heads and tattoos.
It's hard to tell who's cool anymore. They all have the same look.
It really is. Oh, well, I think that's it for us, man. I think that's it for the A block.
It is. It sure is. And any A block, you can pop in on the conversation. If you're watching us live, you can dial 1-646-VIRUS-01. That's 1-646-VIRUS-01. Join the conversation. You can do that in the B block as well. I usually leave the phones open during the B block. Or you can pop over and check us out later on themediavirus.com. I recently put themediavirus.com on the back of the Pumpkin Express Uber Jeep. And if you see me out there, honk and wave. Anybody else got anything they want to shout out?
Oh, I thought I turned that down. Well, don't we have to, is it 100 Hottest Women?
100 Hottest Women.
And a shout out to the Disruptive Minds podcast.
Yes, Disruptive Minds. You can find them on Spotify, hosted by staff writer Bill.
Staff writer Bill has his own fucking podcast, and it's doing better than ours. If you don't think that doesn't piss me off, you're wrong. All right, take us in the break there, Mike.
All right, we will be back right after this with our ever spectacular B block, where we're going to piss and moan about things that broke, and I'm going to berate Matt for breaking them, and we'll see where life gets us after that.
Let's not.
Let's not.
No, let's not.
conditioner. All right.
Was there anything particularly interesting that we wanted to go over in the B block?
Like I said, I got the stories moved over. I didn't get much done with them. We can look at the headlines real quick. If you want to pull anything out, you're more than welcome. We'll just do the stories cold like we did. All right. TMVP underscore 142A. Save.
How's life on the road, Mike?
Tiresome. Because I basically switch up to having 14 12-hour days instead of 7 24-hour days.
Ooh.
So I sleep in halves, I work in halves. So I usually get up around 4 and start driving by 5. And I'll drive usually till about 10 o'clock. Run home, start to get a couple of things done, eat some lunch, take a nap, eat some dinner, and back out and drive again. Till about midnight usually. So it's tiring, but it works. Once I fall into the groove a little bit better, it'll be a little easier. But it takes me a few weeks to get used to it.
Oh, no luck on the job front, like other jobs?
I haven't done anything other than getting ready to get some of my voiceover stuff out there a little farther so that maybe I don't have to go look for another job.
There you go. Cool.
I'd like to be able to book a couple of voiceover jobs that would stick for a while so that I could just be okay.
You have some leads for that?
There's a freelance site that I'm going to start using called Upwork, and I think that looks promising. I may put a couple of things up on Fiverr. I'll read your voicemail for $5. Maybe make some custom ringer packs for people. This asshole has a phone call. Attention, attention, this asshole right here, this asshole. The one reaching for his phone right now, this asshole is getting a phone call.
I tell you what, the Gen Xers share the disproved and useless things they were told growing up.
Okay.
I think that's our, we'll shit on.
We'll be discussing. We'll
shit on each other. We'll shit on we'll shit on Murphy's Law, whatever we're doing, and then we'll delve into the Gen Xers.
All right. So
that should take us into another block, and then we'll get political or something, because there's all kinds of shit.
32 links were bound up. I had an additional 11 or 12 that I had to repair because they can't, the TikToks don't come over right all the time.
All right. I think what we should do is, well, I'll get into it in the show. Also, Billy asked me for the actual Gmail address.
Okay.
The official media virus.
Mediavirus. Yeah.
Media.virus.hole@gmail.com.
Media.virus.
He's supposed to be sending over some of his some of the people that he gets that he doesn't necessarily think will be great for him, or maybe whatever. Some of the folks.
I don't think keep a better eye on that to make sure that I'm not missing anybody.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got anything good. No, nothing good.
All right.
I mean, we do have a few new follows. I think we're in a. You know how they have those services that will bump your numbers for you by they'll use your account to follow somebody to see if they can get follow backs.
Yeah.
I think we're caught up in something like that. Because every now and again we get a wacky follow.
I get a ton of wacky follows on TikTok all the time.
I have a rule. If it's a obviously a thirsty looking fucking bitch where there's no way that is that human being fucking reaching out to me, or if that is that human being reaching out to me, they're just like trying to siphon money from me. Here's the signs. It's a hot bitch in the picture. There are no videos.
Right.
Bad giveaway. And a lot of times, or if it's nothing but thirst traps, if it's nothing but you like staring at it's like this girl staring at a camera and making kissy faces, get fucked. I don't get off my fucking out. I don't know why you think I would want to. I look at my content and see if I have any interest in you. I don't.
All right, so where did I put that? Every bit of 20 TikToks this week.
Yay!
56 to 80. More than that. Yeah, 24 of them it looks like. Two dozen TikToks from Matt this week.
Sweet.
The algorithm has found me.
We lost Tony Bennett last week as well.
What?
Yeah. That's not it. Where's this? I know I moved that article. I saw it. I saw the son of a bitch.
I saw it on the link list.
There we go. All right, let's turn off my air conditioner and get us back in the game. Audio is running. And we're back on the B block of the 142nd episode of the Media Virus Podcast. I'm Professor Mike Latoris here with Matty Rockdeff and Grease Monkey Pete, and we're going to chit-chat a little bit. First off, sorry the show may seem a little jumbled. We had a technical difficulty behind the scenes. I had a system set up through Zapier on the free account level where I provide an email address to the guys, and they send links to it, and then those links automatically populate a spreadsheet that I use to put the show together. This saves me from having to go and scrape all these links from wherever I may have received them from everybody and then put them into a form. And
it was a huge deal because we were sending them. Sometimes we were sending them to the email address. Sometimes we were sending them in a group chat. Sometimes I was sending them just to you because I didn't want the group chat to see it.
Right.
So this is a very, very good tool that's very useful to us on the free version. Zapier, it's called.
Zapier, yeah.
Zapier. We've been using them for a while. And up until now, I've been very, very happy with the results. Yeah,
I don't know if they changed I think they changed how the free level of the service counts itself. You get 100 free tasks. And I think they started breaking out some of the tasks within the they call them zaps. It's basically the little algorithms that you build the little virtual machines that you build to handle all this information. Like I said, there's an email server out there where I get an email address and tell you, okay, Matt, you send all your links to this email address, and then when they're received they're automatically stripped out of the email and dropped into a Google Doc for us. And that's I think they're actually charging a step at each, or charging a task at each step now, where I think it was one task overall before.
Right. It's not one. You don't get one credit per task. It's one credit per step. So receiving the email is one step.
Right.
And then generate. So what your theory is that for every task for every link sent that goes to the link list,
it's multiple. Yeah.
We're being ticked at, not charged, but ticked at 3 tasks.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Well, if it's 2, then we get 50. And then if it's 3, then we're dealing with 33-ish.
Right.
And
we've been getting through about 2.5, 3 weeks of content. So my guess is that it's probably somewhere between that 2 and 3. And I like I said, I didn't take time to break down exactly what our system uses, but I know that if they're going per step, it's probably pulling out some of them as multiples.
No, I get that. So what you spent your day doing was, or your producer day, when you were wearing your producer hat, what you spent your time doing?
I went into the system that receives the emails and had to strip the links and their headlines back out and build the sheet so that we actually have something to look at to get the stories and share them with one another at this point.
And because of all of that work, the work of actually, and I was kind of, because I remember you reached out to me earlier and you're like, hey, are there anything that you want, absolutely want? And I'm like, I don't remember what I sent. Like I just sent shit. Hey, this is, and I think that's where I've got to stop. I think we need to send TikTok somewhere else.
Yes. And I think that fixes the problem.
If we send TikTok somewhere else, then, the articles, just headline articles, go to Zapier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it possible to sign up with a new account and get a new email for the TikToks and set up a different sheet?
I'm going to look into the best way to do that.
I mean, that's the only free option that I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into the best way to do that, and probably set up a separate stream for the TikToks. In fact, I may be able to improve our setup. I may be able to get it to pull the TikToks in a better way for me. So,
okay, well that makes sense. That would be very cool.
Yeah, I mean, if we just an upgrade, I think.
I mean, if just for right now, if we just sent, like, if there's a TikTok I want, I'm just going to send it, I guess, to the Media Virus TikTok page. Does that? We
can try that. I'll just have to remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah. This week I'm going to build. Like I said, I'll build something to handle TikToks.
I mean, or we could just scrap the whole idea, not do TikToks, because it just takes up too much time.
Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, it is kind of a big time suck.
But well, we'll debate on that as we go. But I think that'll probably not, if not solve the problem, at least belay it.
Yes.
For a little while. Yeah. And give everyone else, because I'm not the only one that sends links to that, and I know that I am the lion's share of it. Well, especially with TikToks.
The bottom line on this is we are 32 operations. There were 32 link messages sitting in wait when I got to it today.
So is that going to
process? That'll be processed against next month if they get rerun. I'm gonna try to delete them and not rerun them so that we don't lose
lose those.
But if they automatically run, we're already down next month. So
right, and that's the I see this problem snowballing.
Yes.
All right, so that's one. So because you were going through all of that shit, you didn't have the time to do the normal shit.
Which is usually, I usually take that list and curate it a bit, and then
right, you go through and you highlight in green what stories are gonna be in the top 3.
Yep. Well,
sometimes we'll go as far as to put in yellow the B block, and then we've got a pretty people we're pulling back the curtain a little bit because I don't think people understand what actually goes into doing the show.
I can go back. We can take a look at some of the stuff from last week just to give an idea of the prep. So you guys have the screen there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. So if you look, I'm This black line I usually put in, that's the demarcation between one week and the next.
Right.
So these were all things that came up until showtime on the 12th before the black line. So that's the previous week. We're done with that. So everything from this line down is going to be what we're looking at for the week in question, which in this case was last week that we're looking at.
Right.
I didn't add a black line this week. It's a white line, but it's right here. But you can see I've got 3 of these stories blocked out in green, and that green color, when I drop that into this list, means those are going to be part of the top 3. And I like to color code in stuff like this, so I know that when I see that green, that's part of the top 3. That's the top 3. The yellow that's in here right now, that's actually just carryover from copy and pasting a few things in there that weren't quite right.
Yeah.
But if we have a busy show, I'll take a second color, usually a blue, and do the more news segment in the blue. And then if we've got a special segment, sometimes I'll put like a pink or an orange or something in, something that grabs your eye, so that we know that those are for the special segment.
Right.
But it's a visual representation, and we all have access to this, so we can all go in and look at the links, and you can see it drops them in. And you can't see it in this week. You can see it in last week. We get the headline in the A column. B is the time that it came in. It gets time stamped when it was received, then the link, and then which one of us sent it and from which email address. So it even I've captured enough information that if something comes in funky and I can't figure out how to fix it, or something's there that I don't understand why we've got it, I don't know what to do with it as far as a story or a discussion or what you're asking, I can always come back and say, hey, Matt, on Thursday at 5:30, you sent a link. It's this kind of link, and you sent it from your Matty Rockdef email account. What were you talking about? And you can, if you don't remember based on that, you can at least go back to your sent mail and say, okay, 5:30 on Tuesday. Oh, that's what I remember this link now. Hey, this is what I meant.
Also, conceivably, I could put notes if I really wanted to go into link list, put notes for you.
Or, as we've said before, that part where the headline comes up, that's really just the headline, and this is just the subject line, the way I've got it set up. So you can leave a note in the subject line. Talk about this first. Talk about this second. And we've done that before with certain things.
Right. And I've gone in and put the color in. I was like, I want this.
Yeah.
And it's just how we communicate with each other, specifically about what's happening in the show.
And it's definitely it made a difference in our ability to track the information and get the stories on the show that we want to.
Right.
Because it puts them in here in a way that we can all access the document and go get them and take a look.
And so the next step to that is we take the stories that we know we're going to do, and then we have another robot, and we put it into AI. That's our robot.
Yeah.
So we say, give us some news copy based on this story, and it types us up nice, clean news copy.
Little short blurbs.
Yeah. And then we have a nice organized show. That last part couldn't happen because we didn't even know what the fuck we had to talk about until Mike was done compiling this list.
Yep.
So that's why when it came to showtime, we're kind of all meandering around trying to figure out what it is we're supposed to be doing. Did I just hear a beer open?
It was a can. It's not a beer. It's a flavored seltzer water from Wegmans, which I can't say enough about. They're fantastic.
Are they good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on the order of like the bubbly, where it's not sweetened. It's just flavored.
Yeah, I like the ones that I get. They're almost like they're just flavored. They're like flavored sparkling water, but they taste almost like soda.
Yeah, I mean, these aren't sweetened, so.
These are, but the ones I get them at Aldi.
Uh-huh.
And
it tastes like static in a can.
No, these are good, dude. They have a cherry limeade that's fucking banging. But I don't think that matters. But earlier in the show, in the A block, I was talking about how I was told how important my handwriting was going to be. And yet my handwriting mine is terrible. But last year at the company I worked for, I was the one designated to write Christmas cards because I had the best handwriting.
Because it was the best.
Right. Except for the dude who was a Marine, had gorgeous handwriting.
Yes. That's actually not an uncommon thing.
And gorgeous, but just refused to do it. Just, nah, I'm not.
No. Hoorah. And he left.
He just said no. He did it. He did one. He's like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. Because it was like Christmas Eve. It was literally Christmas Eve, and we're all rushing to get these done and throw them in. So we knew that people would get them late. But you know what? You get the mail late around Christmas time anyway.
Yeah, it happens.
So that was a fiasco of a story. But, you know, we were told as children, we were told many lies.
Oh, lots of them.
And we found this article to go over from BuzzFeed. What's the headline of it there, Michael?
The headline is Gen Xers are sharing the disproved and useless things they were told growing up, and some people still believe today. I'm trying to get to where the actual list starts. There's some...
Yeah, it's kind of far down.
Okay, number 1. I thought we were going to be offered drugs by strangers a whole lot more.
Right?
It seemed like we were. It really did. And you know that the first one's free. I've rarely ever come across that.
Well, we're also not city dwellers. And I feel like, were you in the drug riddled neighborhoods?
I mean, at the point when I was looking to be offered drugs, absolutely.
No, but at the point when you're looking to be offered drugs, there's nowhere to be found. Is
right.
The issue. It's only, but I feel like that's a tactic. I remember someone, it was a joke. He's like, man, you're a drug pusher. He's like, dude, you don't have to push these. People love drugs.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you don't have to, you don't need a hard sell.
No.
No, you know what I mean? You don't have to play hardball. But I would imagine that was a tactic, or nobody would have thought it was a tactic.
You would have to think. I mean, maybe you're just
at a, maybe you heard that when you went back. Like maybe you were at a party, somebody offered you a line of Coke, and you're like, all right, and like, hey, can I have some more of that Coke? And he's like, well, the first one's free, but
maybe,
I mean, that could have been of course, I've never been offered Coke. Never.
Yeah, you need to find a very friendly cokehead if they're going to offer you.
Just offer it to you.
It's rare. It really is rare.
It's not like weed.
No,
I think the pot culture is.
The culture is different.
The pot culture has changed so much.
Yes,
I feel
an awful lot.
It used to be, man, if you scored,
everybody scored.
No, but if you scored, you told everybody. Yeah, you told everybody.
Yeah,
you were like, yo, come over. I have weed.
Yeah.
And you would wait for that call, or you would, whatever. You had to hunt for that shit.
And it was a social experience as well.
Right. Because the smell gives you away. So and then I this came upon me at the Phillies game. Because I was sitting there as this dude walked up and I was smoking a joint, and everybody else that was in the joint circle had kind of walked away.
Right.
Right. And this dude just walks up. He's brand new he's not new to the group, but he's brand new to this
sure.
party, right? He just walked in, and I look at him and I go, hey, would you like to partake? And he went, no, thank you. I was all right. Pass it to the person waiting.
Sure.
And you remember that scene in Half Baked where it was like, are you cool? Because you used to try to push your friends into smoking the joint with you. So they were co-conspirators.
Well, that too, yeah.
Right. They're not going to, like, if they're not going to smoke it with you, then they're going to rat on you.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a truism or if it's definitely something we were taught. We were basically brought up in a system where it wasn't fun to get high by yourself. You had to have a friend to laugh with. You always got high with a friend.
Right. I mean, I think that stays true with mushrooms.
And we're
I've also never been offered.
We're as potheads, we're programmed.
I got offered some of those just tonight. No, they're literally on my TikTok. I got a friend request or whatever message from a guy who wanted. He was like, "Yeah, we've got mushrooms, we've got, vape pens, we've got all this cool stuff. Like, you want some?" I was like,
"Thanks."
Huh.
Yes, the answer is yes, Pete. If you don't want it, I do. Just get it. All right.
But it's so much more. Like, I guess it's so much. More frequent or prevalent now. Like, everybody's just like, "Hey, you want some?" Like, it used to be, it was kind of hush hush.
Yeah, I mean, the stigma of talking about it's gone away.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I remember the first time I was offered mushrooms. I was going to a Billy Joel concert.
The first time you did mushrooms, you were at a Billy Joel concert?
The first time I was offered mushrooms, I was at a Billy Joel concert. We were walking into the venue from the car, and this guy's walking towards us, so away from the venue towards us. He's like, "Hey, man, you want to buy some shrooms?" I'm like, "Hey, man, did you by chance even look at the marquee tonight to see who was here? I mean, this is not the mushrooms crowd."
I'd imagine that would be a mushrooms crowd, though.
And thinking back on it now, probably, yeah, it didn't seem that way at the time, but yeah. But
so
no,
how old were you then, Mike?
I was about 16, 17.
Okay.
Oh no, dude, Billy Joel, when you were 16 or 17, that was "We Didn't Start the Fire."
Yeah.
Dude, that song on shrooms got to be fucking cool.
Actually, you're right, because the stage show was actually pretty good. So, I mean, anyway.
What's the next lie?
I did not get shrooms that night because I didn't have enough money. He wanted a lot of money for not very many shrooms.
I watched a whole room of college kids do shrooms once. It was fun.
Pete the Trip Master. The food.
No. I didn't trip. I watched the entire room.
That's what a Trip Master is. What's the next thing there, Mike?
The food pyramid is a healthy way to eat. You might all remember the food pyramid. It's fats and oils are the little tiny part at the top, and then you break down and you got your dairy and your meat and fish and poultry and your fruits and your vegetables and then your cereals. The way that they've built it, apparently, it's not a healthy way to eat. I don't have any further explanation here, but
here's the thing. This is what you've got to realize: is the government doesn't know fucking shit about shit. They don't know. They don't know what the healthiest way to eat. Listen, my father, again,
maybe we should send him on the tour of that plant.
1931, my father was born.
Uh-huh.
Okay. He grew up steak and eggs, potatoes, eggs, potatoes. Like you had almost eggs, meat, and potatoes at almost every fucking meal.
Well, yes. I mean, that doesn't even sound like a bad plan to me.
That was good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, like sometime late, as far as I can recall, late 70s. Oh, none of that shit's good. Red meat's not good for you. Eggs aren't good for you. Potatoes aren't good for you. Whole grains, granola is good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's bullshit too. And then the Atkins diet. That's bullshit too. Let me tell you something. If you eliminate any food group from your diet, if you eliminate one food group, you will lose weight.
Yes.
For a while.
Yes.
And then it stops. And you will gain weight. And there are other health benefits. You've got it. Fat does not make you fat.
No.
Sugar makes you fat. Fat is basically just like protein. It's an important nutrient. Something you fucking need to eat.
Yes, you need to have the LDL, what they call the good cholesterol.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a whole thing. We went through all this. Remember when they came out with, hey, let's whip up fucking oil and make it taste like butter, and that'll be healthier than butter. Well, guess what? It's not healthier than butter. There's no free lunch.
No. And butter's not that unhealthy.
No, now we figured that out. Butter is not that unhealthy.
Remember when they told you to put butter in coffee?
I've heard it unsalted butter.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, unsalted butter tastes just like it's like solid cream, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
salted butter would be kind of terrible.
No, salted butter is probably what you're used to.
In coffee is what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, in coffee.
In coffee is what I'm talking. Unsalted butter
Yeah,
in coffee.
I don't even put cream in my coffee, so
Oh, but I've heard that. I've heard people put a dab of butter in their coffee,
I've heard that.
and I can only imagine it's delicious. It's fucking butter. What? Name one thing butter hasn't made better.
Good point.
Right?
Good point.
They make shit that and they try to get it to taste like fucking butter. You know why? Because butter's fucking delicious.
Yes.
Butter's delicious.
Right. We all agree. So there's no reason that unsalted butter in your coffee wouldn't be delicious.
That's true.
Right. It's probably a hell of a lot more. Like if you were the type of person like I was when I drank coffee, I was dumb, was flavored creamers. I'm that dude. Right.
I can do
Gotta
them
be.
here and there, but like I said, I generally don't put cream in my coffee anymore. It's just black.
Yeah.
No sugar, no cream, just straight up black coffee.
Didn't we come up with didn't we do a whole story on how psychopaths prefer their coffee black?
I think we did, yeah.
Like as a sign of psychopathy.
And I generally like it strong enough to drink with a fork, so
Why don't you share your screen so we can see what the
all right.
list entails so that we can
Try not to look at the advertisements.
Yeah, don't buy anything you've seen here on the show unless we tell you to buy that. And go fucking buy it as soon as we tell you. All right, so but the food pyramids, I mean, yeah, sure, you should eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Now, when I was a kid, the food pyramid was just fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
There was no separation.
There was no fat at the top all by itself.
No, the fat was the fat was in with the meat and poultry.
Right. Because that's where it comes from.
Right.
Unless you're eating avocados, then that's plant fat, which is another thing that they're quite good that most people don't like. Anyway,
I love avocados. I actually have fake butter made from avocados.
Right?
Yeah. Just because I like both butter and but I have real butter. Yeah, this is funny.
Yeah, because they always told us, you won't always be able to walk around with a calculator. You won't have a calculator in your pocket. Learn to do the math.
Now everybody has a supercomputer in their fucking pocket.
More computing
or
power
on their
than
wrist.
to the moon.
Right. More computing power than what took us to the fucking moon is in our pockets. And it has not only a calculator, but you can download a fucking scientific calculator if you wanted to.
Yep.
So, but did you have the little professor calculator like that? Because I fucking did.
I didn't specifically have it myself. Someone I knew had it. I recognized it. I know that I've held it.
Anybody remember the calculator they made you buy for in high school?
Yeah, the
Texas
scientific
Instruments.
one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The Texas Instruments scientific calculator, like a $90 calculator.
Yep.
Right, and the whole
At the
class was
time.
how to use that calculator. That's all it was.
That was all it was. It was like,
You're not going to be able to walk around a calculator in a pocket, but let me teach you how to use this fucking calculator. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Well, it's because we're on that cusp where it actually started to change.
Mm. No, I get it. What's next here?
The safest place to be during a nuclear strike is under your desk. Now, I remember doing this. I remember being huddled under the desk, waiting for somebody to tell us we could come up.
You're younger than me, but I don't remember those drills. I don't remember getting under my desk.
No?
No.
I only remember it very early on, only once or twice, but I definitely remember it.
No, I remember fire drills. I remember going outside,
Mhm.
It's, the fire drill goes on, let's go outside, line up outside, make sure everybody.
My freshman year, I remember it that there was a nuclear fallout shelter in my school.
Mm-hmm. Most schools do have them.
However, it only had enough capacity for staff and seniors. And we were asked we were freshmen. What would we do? And the teacher was like, I don't know, play Frisbee.
Wow.
Nice.
So, no, this was early in childhood. I remember that.
Yeah.
They stopped
Like I
doing
said,
it.
I don't remember ever having to crouch under my desk.
But you went to school in what? You went to school in PA?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was Delaware schools still did it for a very short time when I was young.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't ever remember a drill where we had to get under our desk.
I took my son to a dinosaur exhibit. Literally everything I learned about dinosaurs is now wrong, including the names of the dinosaurs.
Like, there's no such thing as a Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some of them are
Brontosaurus. Tyrannosaurus Rex still stands though.
T-Rex, yes, but
T-Rex, but it's Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yes, and I believe that there's some offshoots and some different, like, wasn't just one group. Like, there's some delineation.
Right, because there was, evolution just like everywhere else, that one thing turned into another.
Yep.
And they turned into birds.
Eggs are bad for you. No, wait, they're good for you. Hang on. Wait, no, maybe they're bad again.
They're not. Eggs are fucking delicious, and they're fucking great.
Yep. I like them.
Not only that, you're killing a chicken all by yourself.
Well, sometimes, if it had been fertilized and you got to it quickly before a little chicken showed up inside, but if not, it was just a chance at a chicken.
That's what I was going to say. Is you didn't kill any chickens.
You guys,
You just never let them become chickens.
all right, you guys are buzzkills. I'm trying to sell this. All right.
Your child is hyperactive solely because of sugar. That's not
Dude, one
true.
dude comment I wasn't allowed to have orange juice because of this.
Really?
He said very low thing.
Oh yeah, there it is. I see that. I wasn't allowed to have orange juice. Huh.
Yeah, no. I mean, sugar
I mean,
helps, but it's not.
depriving your children of vitamin C is always the way to go. I'm here to tell you that in addition to sugar, red dye was also blamed frequently.
Yeah. I remember that. If you swallow gum, it's going to take 7 years to digest.
That's not true. You just poop.
It goes just like anything else.
Did anybody ever eat Big League Chew?
Yes.
I love
Because, like,
Chew.
Because Big League Chew was the worst gum because it wouldn't actually
It was hard to get it to call
deal
out. Yeah.
into gum. You had to chew the hell out.
Not only that, but it promoted the use of chewing tobacco.
Yes, it was.
Yes, because it was.
It was just like candy cigarettes.
If you're
Yep.
not old enough to chew tobacco, you could get this gum. It's just like tobacco.
And you look like your favorite. Everybody. I remember when I was playing, everybody had Big League Chew. Do they even sell that anymore?
I
don't think so.
know. Probably not. And the number 9 is I'm not on fire as much as I thought I'd be. All that stop, drop, and roll. Which is true. I'm not sure that I've ever had to stop, drop, and roll. That's not to say I haven't been on fire. I just haven't been on fire to the degree where I needed to stop, drop, and or roll. I recently discovered that my niece and nephew haven't been taught about stop, drop, and roll in school. They looked at me like I was crazy when I explained it to them.
Dude, you can buy Big League Chew on Amazon. You can apparently Instacart it too.
Wow.
I don't know where they would get it from.
I think I remember some friends were doing like an 80s theme or something, and they were like, "Oh, let's get all the 80s candy." And they got a whole bunch of weird stuff.
Candy cigarettes?
Candy cigarettes.
You can probably still get those. Don't sit too close to the TV or you'll go blind. And then computers came, and we would have to spend 8+ hours at work with a screen 5 inches from your eyes.
And then they had to develop glasses that helped
I'm
you.
looking at 5 screens right now.
Right?
Yeah.
I like, and they're all really close to me.
Yep, I've never been blinded by technology. Acid rain wasn't an actual threat to the extent that it was touted. Oh, and those killer bees as well. I remember the acid rain was something that they were really up in arms about, but yeah,
Now it's microplastics. Everybody's
Yeah.
upset that there's
I mean, I've seen acid rain damage the finish on a car a little bit, but you know.
All right, dude, you can buy Big League Chew, Big Rally Raspberry, Out of Here Original, Ground Ball Grape, or Swinging Sour Apple.
Wow.
And you can buy that 4-pack for $11.99 on Amazon. All 4 flavors of Big League Chew. So it's still available out there.
Yep. The tongue has
In the big leagues, when you have Big League Chew. All right.
The tongue has a map of different taste buds that taste different things. I remember this one being pushed on us, and it's apparently not true. Not true at all.
No, it's not.
Total bullshit.
It is complete bullshit. Now, I do get a little bit, like, I taste sour a little bit more to the sides.
Right. I mean, they may have. There may be
But
some
salty.
areas there.
Salty encompasses the entire tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So does bitter. And umami coats the whole tongue too. So that's supposed to.
Japanese cars are of poor quality and are unreliable.
I think back then they were.
Yes.
I mean, back in the 80s, dude, they were pieces of shit. Well, the engines weren't bad. They would just rust. They'd rust right around.
Well, I remember the first Hondas that they were making. You couldn't have them in Delaware because the first couple were, I think the first model that they wanted to export to the U.S. Was chain driven, and Delaware, somewhere along the line of the motor vehicle code, if it's chain driven, it's not a car, it's a motorcycle.
What? Jesus.
So
that's interesting.
So yeah, it was like the first few Hondas that they tried to put out we didn't have them here, but then the little Civics started to show up, and they looked like bumblebees, and they were cute. Slightly foolish but true, LOL. Quicksand would be a real life problem.
Yes. Yeah, that was a.
I thought that I would find quicksand as an issue at some point in my life. I still haven't found a real quicksand.
Yeah, TV really led us astray here.
Dude, all right, so you Twafo Flinching 613 said, dude, it was quicksand.
What was his name?
Who cares? I'm reading a fucking copy. Dude, it was quicksand and amnesia for me. Like, I was really ready for that shit. Like, yeah, didn't you think amnesia would be a lot more prevalent in this day and age?
Yeah, you'd think at least once in your life you'd have a real amnesia type event. Now, I've known people that did have a real amnesia event, and it's kind of weird and spooky and not fun. But
I mean, I guess there's Alzheimer's. That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that's not amnesia, though. I mean, that's not.
It's like, yeah, but it's seriously the same type of fear.
Yeah, I mean, that you lose a piece of something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You will have to write in cursive for the rest of your life.
Right? Seriously. I just went over this. My mother used to hit me with a fucking ruler and make me make circles inside the lines.
Yeah. I force myself to do it every once in a while just so I don't lose it completely.
Here, 16. Fucking right.
Plastic bags will save the earth because we won't have to kill as many trees to make brown paper bags to carry our groceries.
Remember when we all went green and started using plastic bags?
Yeah.
Remember that? I remember that. I remember, dude, I've been talking about that. Not only that, I was just thinking about this today. You know those reusable bags they're fucking pushing on us? In order for that to offset the carbon footprint that it takes to fucking make it, each bag has to be used 1,000 times.
Yeah.
They're just
use
thicker plastic.
It's woven, right? It's like woven plastic. You can't. It's just it's going to destroy the environment, but you can't pick up dog shit with it.
That's right.
I mean, some of them you can. I've picked up dog shit with a plastic with a
reusable shopping bag.
Shopping bag.
I don't recommend that. not gonna do that.
I mean, my dogs, dude. Remember how it rained last night or yesterday? Like in the middle of the day, it rained like hell. My dog got scared, went downstairs. Shit in the basement.
Huh.
And not for nothing, but of all the places to shit, that's the best place to shit.
Well, yeah, I mean,
my roommate's dog does that all the time.
Yeah, we don't want to condone it.
No. I mean, but
isn't your
seems to
basement
be
carpeted?
the place of choice.
Isn't your basement carpeted?
There is carpet down there, yeah.
All right, what's next?
Yeah.
But like, I have to buy little bags to put in my fucking bathroom trash now.
Yeah.
Like, those things fit. Like, I swear to God, they made bathroom trash cans to fit those bags.
Yes.
I came up with an alternative for a bathroom trash can. Just put a 5-gallon bucket in.
Oh, okay.
Still need a bag there, Pete.
Huh?
Still needs a bag.
He pops the lid on the bucket and chucks it.
Exactly. Why do you need a bag in there? You don't need a bag.
Don't you live with a woman?
I do.
Isn't your roommate a woman?
Yes, my roommate is a woman. She has her own bathroom. She doesn't go in my bathroom.
All right, then she needs a bag. Sorry.
The United States will be using the metric system by 1983.
That's right. No, we're not. Fuck the metric system. There's two types of countries in this world. Those that use the metric system and those that have landed on the fucking moon. Boom.
Delaware's Route 1, the expressway to the beach, was originally the expressway portions were originally built using metric plans, and they were originally when they marked them out, they did not place mile markers. They had metric markings, and all the signs were in metric measure. It was going to be this great new.
I mean, it really seems like Delaware has their head right up their ass.
It went away rather quickly, and it was a pet project of somebody who was of some official at the time. It was not, nobody liked it, and it was not well received. But overall, the engineering world was really pushing when that job came out. The engineering world was pushing to go metric because it in a lot of ways it makes their life easier.
Well, the metric system sucks, and everybody fucking knows it. Go look in your socket set right now for a 10mm socket. Tell me if you got one. You fucking don't. All right, what's next?
Technology would give us so much free time in the future that we'd only have to work 5 to 10 hours a week, and we'd be able to do it from home. And employers would be on board with this. This one still hurts a little bit.
I mean, not for nothing, but yeah, that's absolutely. Technology has given us so much free time that we only have to work 5 to 10 hours a week. The problem is we have to be there for 40. But I mean, in all honesty, you only work 5 to 10 hours a week, right?
It depends on what you do, but yeah.
And we should be able to do shit from home. I mean, we've proven that it works.
Yeah.
Proven that it works.
Yeah, now they can't drag us back to work.
And last, Mikey didn't die after eating Pop Rocks while drinking Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, that was the biggest thing is eating Pop Rocks and drinking Coke. You were gonna fucking die.
Because Mikey did.
But I've done that so many times.
Alive.
Right.
Some dumb bitch of a mother told her kid that. The kid that kid went and told his dumb fucking friends.
Right.
And
that's how that stuff goes.
Yeah, that was a big fear though, drinking soda and eating Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
Was you don't remember that?
I do.
You said it in the form of a question. You're like,
oh, yeah. I didn't intend to, but yeah, no, I was agreeing. Absolutely, that was something that you didn't want to do.
Wasn't there a scene in a movie? Some guy's head explodes when he does it. I'll have to go find it.
All right. I think that just about does it for the B block. Let's get into see where the C block takes us.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the B block on the Media Virus podcast. I'm Professor Mike Latoris. You can reach us 1646-VIRUS-01. That's 1646-VIRUS-01. If this is your first time hearing us, go check us out at themediavirus.com. Like, share, subscribe. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody what we're doing. Bring them out. Make them listen. Explain to them why they like it so much. And then tell another. We'll be back with the C block right after this. Fuck all the way off. All right.
Cool. I'm going to step out and take a piss.
Go right ahead, Pete. So Billy had a pretty decent idea
Okay.
because he called me while that guy was testifying before Congress,
Right.
and he said you should stage phone calls from the aliens, like have different aliens call in.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, that's not a half bad idea.
No, it's not.
And you got to I think it'd be funny if they called in from like a secret government facility and they were being tortured. I think that'd be kind of funny. Like they're being anally probed.
Oh. Could definitely be fun.
So it's an idea to kick around.
Now, are we going to film the Pete bit, or are we doing the Pete bit live? I mean, I don't remember where we are with that.
Is he ready?
I don't know.
I haven't followed up with him.
How are things going with your Scarlett Johansson bit?
Well, here, I tell you what. You have a setup right now, right? You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to do it right now, but I'm saying the way you have it set up. Okay. You're in front of a green screen, right?
No, I actually took that thing down. I can put it back up.
There's always a fucking problem, man. Always a fucking problem.
No, I can put it back up. It's easy.
Yeah, just put it back up.
I took it on the road with me, and I never put it back up when I got back home.
Oh, yeah. And then film yourself just reading the script and then send it to me. That's it. And me and Mike will do the rest of the work. And then we'll play it.
What are you doing over there, Mike?
He's playing with this green sock.
Playing with that green head sock. I was like, what?
All right, so record. So I'm not 100% sure where we're going in C block. I can get to the TikTok links and go to TikTok, but I didn't pull anything down like I normally do.
Yeah. And we don't have Adjust the Tips.
We do not have Adjust the Tips. Well, we could tell Big Daddy's Just the Tips story that he used to call off the show.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought he was talking about episode 50, and it says on the thing that it's episode 49.
That was last week. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
You didn't change it from last week.
Okay, just that. So then I'm stupid.
No, perfectly valid question, Pete. But Big Daddy was working.
I'm sure that was discussed somewhere.
Let me get started. I gotta
All right.
check the. Yeah, recording soon. And we're back on the C block of the Media Virus Podcast, episode 142. Again, here with Matty Rock Depp and Grease Monkey Pete. You might notice he doesn't always join us until the C block, but we don't have any Big Daddy this week. And we got a message shortly before taping time that we would not have Big Daddy this week because he had an equipment failure.
I wouldn't exactly call it a failure.
Well,
he was producing at the time.
Well, he was producing Just the Tips for tonight's show. Now, I thought we had some in the can, but I guess we cycled through.
We exhausted those.
And I guess in the midst of this, he lives on the second floor, and he dropped where he was doing work on. I don't know how it works. He was on the second floor, and the phone fell off the balcony. I don't know how that happens. I don't know if it went out of his hand, tripoded up, and a big gust of wind took it. Maybe he jumped too hard, it fell. We're hoping that we can recover the footage at some point. Hopefully it was recording of the fall. That would be fantastic.
And my hope is that we get the recovery so that there's a point where it falls and it hits and you know that it's down and it's quiet. And then off in the distance, you hear the cussing and screaming, and then the footsteps gently coming up to it, and see him snatch it up.
Even maybe if you see his face as he can't control
yeah,
the phone because the screen is cracked, the screen's fucked. So to see his face trying to fuck with the apps, we're hoping if we get that footage, we might not even wait for a show. We might just fucking post it.
Yeah, we might just put that out as its own little
right. Just because I think that would become viral. Because whatever he was talking about, just the phone flipping off the thing, it doesn't even matter. Fucking hilarious. But we do have, and Mike didn't have time, as we've been explaining, the whole show to slap together the slideshow presentation for the TikTok Nonsense Corner. Mike does put a lot of work into those. He downloads the videos and then he puts them into a PowerPoint presentation or the Google version of a PowerPoint presentation.
Yep.
And then, we scroll through that presentation. We were unable to do that this week because of the aforementioned issues we've been having. But we do have TikTok up.
We do.
We do have access to TikTok. So we're going to see how this goes. This is how we used to do it.
Yeah, I don't have them all pulled up in a row, so I'm going to grab them one at a time. So we probably won't blast through all of them. There's 24 of them in the
queue.
In the queue right now. So let's take a look at what
this is got. A commercial, but it struck me as funny.
Okay.
Maybe it's not. I don't know if it's commercial or not, to be honest with you.
I used to be like you. Weak, sad, unable to get erections. Maybe it's about time you stopped begging big city liberal politicians for electricity and started taking it from the sun. Because a real man wouldn't rely on a communist wire to keep his family warm and his beer cold. The sun is hot as shit. Look that sun right in the eye and say, listen, pal, you work for me now. Be a man. Man God in charge of the sun. Sun-powered God man. Gets boners, no problem. Be a man. Sack up and go solar.
I've never heard George Clooney sound so.
That might have been. That might have been Jon Stewart. The problem with Jon Stewart. Now, I just thought it was really funny.
I'm pretty sure that was Dennis Leary's voice.
No, that sounded like George Clooney.
I used to be like you. Weak, sad, unable to get erections. Maybe it's about time you stopped begging big city liberal politicians for electricity and started taking it from the...
No, I'm saying that's Dennis Leary. It's got to be Dennis Leary.
Oh, it is. Look at that. The problem with Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
This is on Facebook? What the fuck's going on?
Now, other people are saying they're pretty sure it's George Clooney. I feel
that's what I see. That's what I was saying.
I feel
there's somebody that agree with you. See, it sounds a bit like Dennis Leary.
Yeah,
that might be you.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Okay, hey, that's your opinion. It's wrong, but that's your opinion.
Man, Pete taking a hard fucking stance with this Clooney thing.
I'm just kidding, Mike. I'm just kidding.
Let's see what else we've got. Why won't you? There we go. All right, so play.
This is fun. The caption says, "I barf."
Yes.
Riding a roller coaster. I barf. Sitting in the back of a car. I barf. Walking too close to a dumpster. I barf. Seeing my parents kiss. I barf. Brushing my tongue too hard. I barf. Smoking a big cigar. I barf. Wearing a VR headset. I barf. Thinking of my parents kissing. I barf, I barf, I barf. I barf. Yeah! That was better. That one was better. Bam!
Is that okay? Go.
There's at Abu Tech butt sex. Gay butt sex. Gay butt sex.
Wow.
That took me a fucking minute.
That slapped pretty good.
No, they're the wolves of Glendale.
Oh.
That this video is apparently their video in reply to Gabe Utsex.
Oh, okay. We're definitely remind me to put Gabe.
Shit. Doing cocaine today. On top of an earthquake, but then you get a ticket and it ruins your life. Doing cocaine.
This is at 1.5 speed.
Nice.
That was the same band, pretty good. I dug them. I dig them a lot. They got like a cake groove to them.
Yeah.
So
That's actually That's the first thing I thought of when the music started. Before I saw any of the folks say, "Hey, dark jokes. We love dark jokes."
how much I enjoy dark jokes. I think I shared this TikTok. I think I all 3 parts.
What do you call an emo with no breasts? A cutting board. What would Kobe Bryant be doing if he wasn't dead? Scratching on his coffin. Where does a suicide bomber go when he dies? No. I got covered. What's the difference between me in grade 8 and a Jew? I came home from camp.
Wow.
He's crying. Why did the child cross the road? Because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. What do I usually do after sex? 15 to life.
Wow.
Those were definitely dark jokes.
Deep dark.
They were, yeah.
Deep dark.
That's how they got shared to the like list.
Vive. See if we can improve our viewing here.
Now remember, this isn't us telling these stories.
How does Paul Walker like his donuts? Doesn't, he's dead.
Wow. How do you stop a toddler from drowning in July? Drown it in June.
My girlfriend called me a p***hole today. Big word for a 12-year-old.
How do you know when your sister is on her period? Your dad's tastes funky.
What's the difference between a woman and an egg? I don't laugh when I beat up an egg.
Yeah, that's not funny. I'm offended. What do you call the useless skin around a The woman.
What's 9 inches long and helps me the girl I want? My knife.
My knife.
Those are quality jokes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go
Again.
Is it another one?
No, we've got this guy.
I don't know what this is. This looks like something I shared while I was taking a shit.
Writers cannot afford to pay their mortgages. Actors are not able to make a living in Los Angeles anymore.
That's Adam.
This great idea, okay? How about all the actors and all the writers pool all their money together and then distribute it evenly amongst all the actors and all the writers, right? So if like some actors are worth like hundreds of millions of dollars and some actors are worth like nothing, then they should just pool their money together and split it up evenly, right? So I'm sure you'll get like Leonardo DiCaprio in on this and like all the big names who lecture us from there while they're getting their golden statues. They lecture everybody about what's fair and what's right for the entire country. Why don't you just do that?
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you're not going to have too many takers.
I'm sure a lot of people would be interested, just nobody with money.
Right.
Just like communism.
Guys only want to hear one thing, and it's this.
This is good advice for any woman.
A man in your life who's feeling down, or you just want to show him you appreciate him and brighten his day, all you got to do is say one simple thing. You wait for a good moment and you turn to him and you say, "Hey babe, hey dad, hey bro, I think you would have done a great job in World War II." And then you pause for a second. And as you watch the tears well up in his eyes, then you go, "Especially Normandy." It's all guys think about. It's all we want to hear. We just want to know we could have bagged a few Nazis if we had the shot.
I think that's you say that to any man, and it's going to brighten their day. I mean, unless they were like, "I did do well.
I was at Normandy."
They're feeling far between, though.
Yeah, they're getting harder and harder to find these days.
Oh no, you can find them. They're just dead.
They're
easier to find
I was
now.
gonna say they're easier to find, harder to talk to.
Yeah, you don't have a Ouija board. Oh, dude, this is such an interesting fucking airplane fact, dude.
Okay.
You're not gonna believe it. I was blown away. Nothing like an awkward silence.
I know. Are you with me, dude?
Yep.
Dude.
I'm an aircraft mechanic, and this is an airplane fact with Max. Today I'm in the aft galley of a Boeing 737, and behind me you might notice this small trash chute. But something that makes this trash chute a little bit different than the trash chute in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, on the Death Star that Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker have to jump into after they rescue Princess Leia from her holding cell that lands them in a giant trash compactor where they realize that the door is magnetically sealed and the walls start slowly moving in, threatening to crush them before Luke Skywalker is able to contact C-3PO on his communication device, where C-3PO is able to tell R2-D2 to turn off all of the trash compactor. Is that this chute isn't actually located on the Death Star, and it's just for normal trash, but I think that this trash chute's pretty cool. So, yep.
Well, it's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't know, you didn't think you were going to learn anything about a trash chute on a 747, but now you know it's not the same trash chute as it's not on the Death Star.
You don't have to worry about ending up in the trash compactor.
I feel like that's another thing that we were like lied to about is I thought collapsing walls were going to be a much bigger problem in my life.
Yeah, and you know those big blades that you get tied up and they swing the big blade over you. Thought that was going to happen more too.
Right. That's going to be a much more adventures.
Human waste drug.
Does anybody remember this?
I do. I do recall something.
This was a thing. Now it was never something. I think I was beyond the age of the people doing this.
Right.
But
Here is a shocking heads up for parents about teen drug use. One Florida sheriff warns there's a new way for your kids to get high. And as Fox 30's Jack Miller reports, they're using raw sewage.
Cops are calling it jankum or the human waste drug, but parents need to be aware that kids are calling it by the more popular slang term butt hash. Jack Miller, Fox 30 News.
And at this point, it's not clear if jankum can even be considered to be illegal. We'll keep you posted.
butt hash.
Butt hash.
You don't hear about that nearly as often.
No.
Anymore.
That's the first time I ever heard about that.
You didn't hear about that when you were like, I don't know, in your 20s?
I remember hearing about it.
I know those fumes can make you pretty fucking sick.
No.
Hang on.
We already did that.
Try it again. Yeah. Because I think there was a joke one right after that.
Oh, so it was okay that it was the same, looked like the same video?
Yeah, let's just keep going though.
Okay.
I was thinking, it doesn't make sense that conservatives don't like abortion. You're going to love this. It's so funny. You think conservatives would love abortion, right? It's such a conservative thing. 'Cause abortion's just dead liberals. We're not aborting farmers and electricians, dude. It's just piles of music theater majors.
That he made a very strong point that you really can't argue with. I changed my perception on things.
Piles of
dead liberals.
I don't know what we've got coming here. Like all of the TikToks are Matt's TikToks this week.
Okay, so we all shit in the shower. But what's your preferred method? Do you A, waffle stomp it down the drain? Or do you leave the toilet seat up and Kobe?
Now all right, so go around the room. That's why I posted this one. Let's go around the room. Pete, when you shit in the shower.
If I were to shit in the shower, not when.
No, when you shit in the shower.
If.
Everybody's taken a shower and had to take a shit.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you waffle stomp it down the drain, or do you? Try to get it into the
I feel like the responsible thing is the Kobe Bryant.
So
okay, all right. So
Mike, turds at your house,
Mike, when Pete shits in the shower, he catches it in his hand.
I'm understanding,
and he waffle stomps it, or no, he tosses it into the toilet.
I think it's funny if he catches it. Funnier if he catches it in his hand and he still waffle stomps it.
He slams it down.
He's added a whole extra step of touching it that doesn't need to be there.
I spike it. And
See, that's the
then
problem. No, see, that's where it comes into play because you're touching it either way. You're either touching it with your hands or you're touching it with, with your feet. But if you just slam it down onto the drain and then waffle stomp it, that's a choice. So, Mike, when you shit in the shower,
right?
Do you waffle stomp or do you toss it?
I'm a waffle stomp guy.
I'm a waffle stomp guy myself. I don't want to touch things with my hands, dude. I eat with my hands.
I mean, if I've got enough warning and I can make it work, I'll pop the drain grid off and try to go right down the hole. It adds an element of skill to the operation.
Now, when you're taking a bath, you don't have a choice. You just gotta toss it.
Well, yeah, either that, otherwise
you can't just let it float there.
Right. You're swimming with it otherwise. I mean, that's just wrong.
It's disgusting. But it's disgusting to touch out your hands, Pete. All right, let's keep going.
All right. This video is currently unavailable. I'm going to take a minute, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to clean up my screen a little bit because I see that I'm starting to have some memory issues. So,
also, I threw over some pretty controversial stuff. One I knew was going to get taken down, and I downloaded it to my phone, but I forgot to do anything with it. But Pete looked mortified when I
asked him about shitting in the shower.
Yeah, well, after we all started calling him gross for touching it with his hands. But why do you think that's the responsible thing to do, Pete?
Well, it comes from I suppose, technical background on it.
Right. What technical background? What about it?
For me, it's the construction of the drain, and how on a lot of them it seems like it's a very short run from the drain down to its first turn. And I just feel like stomping down there. It's you could do some serious damage that way.
Pete, you do know that the adjustment on your shower head, that jet setting, is to clear the pipe after you've waffle stomped. Right.
I just feel like you could cause a whole bunch of problems by trying to.
Yeah, but if you're running hot water in a jet down the tube,
I'm gonna break it all up. Over the last year, my turds have gone from the consistency of, like, say, Play-Doh to nearly hardened cement. That gives you any sort of.
He's worried about hurting his foot.
Right. You could hurt yourself. So, I'm like, no.
I actually talked everyone in a trip to not go in the ocean because of the high fecal bacteria in the ocean. So I obviously don't waffle stomp. What you gotta do is keep a shitting bag, and they're getting hard to come by because paper doesn't work nearly as well.
Not in the shower.
I don't know if you've ever tried to shit in a paper bag while taking a shower.
Nope. Can't say I have.
Work.
Can't say I have.
Oh, that's gonna get clipped out and used for something.
I hope so.
So we're back at it. Apparently, we have an interesting fact here.
One thing that most people don't know about the first atomic bombs, they were horrendously dangerous.
Check out Debbie Downer over here. Yeah, bombs are safe. Bombs are safe. You know what also isn't safe? Your mom.
Okay.
Sure.
The whole thing was about the first TikTok was about how dangerous the original atom bombs were. And like, yeah, they were fucking atom bombs designed by people in the fucking 40s.
Yeah.
Cars weren't safe in the 40s.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The concept of the seatbelt was like, why would you strap yourself in?
Yeah.
I don't want to strap myself to this bench. It's, we didn't really outlaw drinking.
I had to skip therapy this week because I'm getting my new place ready, so I got to tell you guys about this nightmare that I have. I was on the show, the Shark Tank, the one where a bunch of inventors pitch their ideas to billionaires, and the billionaires offer them pennies on the dollar. The history of, working class exploitation in this country, but just for ratings. That's, how reality TV works, whatever. So I show up with a full mason jar, and I say, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Diet Cum. And the two billionaires that aren't Mark Cuban are dumbfounded. They know this is revolutionary. They know this is going to change the game. They know it is all the cum with half the calories. That's the tagline. Mark Cuban's like, I don't fucking like it. So he turns it down. They turn down all funding. So I leave and I'm like, motherfucker, I got nowhere to go with this. A week later, I see a commercial for Mark Cuban's Cum Zero. You can't have 0-calorie cum without giving people fucking cancer. There's got to be some kind of fucking artificial sweetener in that bitch that just gives you tumors as soon as it touches your lips or whatever. So basically,
Wow.
Yeah, and who's that?
Oh, that is
Oh,
Real
hey.
Life Goon.
Real Life Goon.
That's the Real Life Goon on TikTok.
Yeah, that was an interesting story, I thought.
Yeah, I like how it started off as a dream and then it got real serious. You can't have 0-calorie cum without giving people cancer. Okay, this guy. Dude.
Hey, do you know how to tell when your microwave's about to break? Well, two of my microwaves did the same thing. They made a pop sound and they caught fire. I unplugged into it, threw them outside. But the thing about microwaves, they'll always just go, well, it don't work no more. Sometimes they pop and catch on fire. That's what mine did twice.
It was helpful news. You know how you know your microwave's about to stop working? It pops. It's on fire.
But sometimes they don't do that. Sometimes they just stop.
The only time I've ever had a microwave not catastrophically fail is the microwave that is installed over my range right now.
Right.
My house was hit by lightning. We lost the microwave.
Yeah, it stopped working.
I found out how to kill one.
How's that?
Put a thing of ramen with no water in it in the microwave.
That could go badly.
That ends badly.
Can
Smoking.
I just say, my body, my choice. Thank you. It's a choice between me and my doctor. The government should have no say in whether or not I get an abortion.
Did you just say abortion?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I thought that was entertaining.
Yes, I like that. I like that. Oh. 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 The 10 worst states to live. All right. I hope they're all West Virginia.
No, I think this is
CNBC has a list of what it says are the 10 worst states to live and work in. They say they compile the list by the numbers, quote unquote. It's a strictly objective determination based on the data, they say. Now, just to skip ahead to the twist ending, the list of the worst states to live in begins at number 10 with Florida, one of the most prosperous states in the country. It's one of the highest rates of people migrating to it. And it ends with as the worst state of all, number one on the list is Texas. Again, a prosperous state where hundreds of thousands of people move to every year. My own state, Tennessee, also makes the list, which is news to all the new transplants that show up here every single day. So it seems like all of the worst states are exactly the states where the most people want to live.
Odd. That's all. It's just, think about the states that were just mentioned. Think about their politics.
Yeah.
And people are moving there.
Dog whistle is the note on the screen here.
Oh, yeah.
And this gentleman
I thought this was interesting.
Regale us with his tales of dog whistle right now.
So are we going to talk about the racist dog whistles in Jason Aldean's new song or no?
Do you know what a dog whistle is? When you blow a dog whistle, only a dog can hear it. So if Jason Aldean's song was a racist dog whistle, then only a racist could hear that. But nobody on the right heard the song that way. Everybody on the left did hear the song that way. So the people that heard the racist dog whistle are... I don't think these people actually know what a dog whistle is.
That's a very good point.
Not for nothing. Anybody heard that new Jason Aldean song?
I have not heard the song.
Have you heard about?
Nope.
I've heard of the controversy.
I've heard of the controversy. I've heard bits and pieces of the song.
I've skipped. I skipped.
From what I understand,
some of the lyrics.
This is what I understand. Country music sucks. But the people that are complaining about this song have absolutely never heard Guns N' Roses' second album entitled Lies, 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 or just Lies, depending on how you feel about the cover. Now, this album is terrific because it's all acoustic on one side, and it's where we got the song Patience.
Yes.
Guns N' Roses was on this album.
Yeah.
The song after Patience was I Used to Love Her. That's a very popular song too. And that's supposedly about.
I used to rub my own jizz all over my face and I would leave it.
Sorry.
No, this is the one I wanted next. But that's okay. So, but the last track is called One in a Million. Song is fantastic. It's a really good song. But it is probably the most racist, xenophobic song you've ever heard, even if you listen to David Allan Coe. Right? So there's a lot of people complaining. But if you listen to, I don't know, Slayer, Angel of Death, one of the Nazi doctors, I can't remember. I've had 3 beers. I can't remember the name of them off.
Mengele,
right. And it's kind of like an ode almost to him. Yep. I'm not a huge Slayer fan. They've got 2 great songs. They sound almost the same. I mean, not for nothing, but Rain and Blood sounds a lot like South of Heaven, but slowed down. Am I wrong about that? But anyway, so if we really want to get bent out of shape about obscurity, we can get bent out of shape about obscurity. But it's because everybody's all pissed off about this song. He's like number 1 or number 2 on fucking iTunes.
Yep.
And the song legitimately sucks.
Well, what I told somebody who asked me about it the other day was it worked. It worked. We're talking about it. That's what it was all about.
Right. And I have all these Facebook friends that post these things like, I stand with Jason Aldean. You're a fucking idiot. You've never heard of Jason Aldean before. And this was the second worst song ever written about a small town. Worst song was by John fucking Cougar fucking Mellencamp.
I was born in a small town.
I was born in a small town. Listen, songs
I
about
kind of like that song.
Shut up, Pete. The song sucks.
No, it doesn't.
In the world of songs, it's catchy.
Yes.
But John Mellencamp is up there with Bruce Springsteen. It's everything I hear just sounds the same. It just sounds like to me, contrived garbage.
Okay.
I have a very unique,
Yes.
Musical taste.
Eclectic, we'll call it.
It is eclectic.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Speaking of eclectic, I think this next guy's move is probably a little eclectic.
Well, yeah, this is good information.
I used to rub my own jizz all over my face, and I would leave it on overnight, kind of like a facial mask when I was like 14 or 15, because I had a lot of acne and I was desperate, and I had read online that like nut could actually cure acne, so I tried it. Believe it or not, it's still a theory that skincare professionals are still researching today. And I got clowned for this, rightfully so. This was my high school's online burn book, and I made it, and they talked about me doing that. I'm here to tell you that it didn't work. Like, the only thing that cured my acne when I was like 21 or 22 was I got better at handling stress, and I went on tretinoin. But anyway, when I was like 22 and I was in the situationship with a man whose nut I consumed all the time, I had a feeling that nut was somewhat healthy, and like I wanted that to be true because I care about my health, and I was wondering if there was any additional benefits to swallowing nut aside from the potential risk of getting STDs, because he and I weren't exclusive, and unfortunately STDs are spread through gay guys the most. And I was right. Like, look at this. It has hella vitamins and hella essential nutrients. My ex-partner used to always be like, oh, it has a lot of protein, like don't you want like muscles and stuff? So yeah, this was my personal health journey with semen.
Okay.
I feel like anyone can go on a personal health journey with semen if they really want to. But I don't know how. Listen, I've done a lot of weird shit with my cum. But smearing it all over my face is not something I've done.
No.
And also, if I did, I would have told no one.
Right.
I mean, when?
Dude, don't get all bent out of shape because we called you gross for shitting in your hands.
No, but when
I know you're sitting there holding.
It's okay. It's okay, Maddie. When you smeared cum all over your face, not if. When.
Never done it. I once glued a piece of paper to a wall with it, but I've never put it on my face.
I've put it a lot of places.
Right.
My own face is not one of them.
No.
Exactly.
I thought this was funny as shit.
Bo Diddle trolls Karen at an anti-gun rally. Come on, Bo Diddle.
What would you define as a military-grade weapon?
A military-grade weapon is one with rapid repeat fire and extended magazines that can take out a whole bunch of people in the matter of a few seconds.
So pistols and ARs and AKs.
Yeah, any of this weaponry that was developed for the military and takes the body apart whenever those bullets hit.
Well, after this discussion, I've come to the conclusion we must ban the 19th Amendment.
The 19th Amendment being...
That's exactly why it should be banned. It's the women's right to vote.
It's not too late. I feel like we can reverse it and put things right. I mean, it's only been, 110 years? And look at the damage done. Am I the only one that feels this way?
No, I think there's a lot of... But I also think there's a lot of stupid men out there voting as well. So
right, men that think like women, men that were taught to think like women.
Here's the headline:
a father.
Giant kites could pull cargo ships across the ocean and slash their carbon emissions. You may have seen kite surfers in action, harnessing the power of the wind to pull them over the sea. Now try to imagine this: the same concept applied to a 1,000 square meter kite flying 300 meters above the water. Only instead of towing a surfer across the waves, it's helping to propel a colossal cargo ship across the ocean. Well, that's the basic idea behind the Sea Wing, a technology being developed. This is being developed now. This is obviously in the very early stages, being developed by French company Airseas, which it says could help cargo ships reduce their fuel consumption and cut their carbon emissions by an average of 20%. The liberals have just discovered the concept. Sailboats invented in 4000 BC, at least.
I mean, was there a difference between that and a sailboat?
No. Not
I
really.
mean, I've watched. Now, here's the thing about a sailboat. When you're sailing something, I feel like it's got to be less rigid. You know what I mean? Have you ever watched like sailing yacht, like below deck sailing yacht?
Right.
And below deck, any of the below decks are the most tolerable of the intolerable.
Right.
Because you're still watching people do their jobs.
Right.
Like these are working, like they're fucking privileged. They're still privileged assholes, and there's more privileged assholes like that are on the boat, but they're a little bit more accustomed to hard work. So
they're working stiffs.
But when they're sailing, man, the thing just fucking just leans.
Yeah.
I mean, almost fucking perpendicular to the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, sailing can be a rough go.
Yeah.
So it just blows my mind. There's 3.8 billion women on this planet, and it's still not clean.
I mean, sure. So back to the interview. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In your chair, only asking better questions.
I thought the first part of that was really funny.
Yeah. It's
3.5 billion. It's still not clean. I think, I mean, it is. Oh, it's only 10:54. We got time for 2 more.
All right. Answers the question once and for all. Let's see what are we getting the answer to? Come along.
So I said to me, how come gay people get a parade and there's Chinese New Year parade? How come white straight guys don't get a parade? Well, for a couple of very good reasons. One, a white straight male parade would be fucking boring. Yeah. Be just a bunch of guys in tearaway pants eating macaroni and cheese going, this is really fucking cheesy. And the other reason white straight males can't have parades is because sometimes, just sometimes, when we white straight males, when we get together and have parades, shit gets out of hand and 6 million Jews go missing. We can't have anything nice! We can't have anything nice! It always starts out as a great idea. Let's wear the same thing so everyone knows we're on the same team. You want to go camping in Poland uninvited? That's why people get nervous when they see 5 white guys in the same outfit because they think we're up to something. And we usually fucking are. When was the last time you... No, that is never a good sign.
That's a good point.
It's a very good point.
Very good.
Yeah, white guys in uniform. Very rarely does that ever turn out good for anybody.
No.
Usually not even for the white guys in the uniforms.
No.
Got a redhead. I like them.
Yeah.
Here's how you can hypothetically send an ex-partner an anonymous text message to let them know that they may or may not have possibly contracted an STD, which may or may not be real. Disclaimer, this is all hypothetical, right? Hypothetical. You're going to go to tellapartner.org. You're going to click on send a text. You're going to put in their phone number and choose which STDs they may or may not have possibly contracted.
Okay.
Now, I tried this out.
Of course you did.
I couldn't get to it because I was going to tell Damien he had everything.
You're not allowed to check that many boxes, though.
I don't. How would you know?
I was joking.
But I think that would be fun. Maybe we should do that to Staff Writer Bill. Maybe we should do that right now.
Well, I'll stop this. I'll stop the screen share.
I'm joking, but we will do that and see how that goes. I think that's. I think we've put on a show.
All right. Well, in that case, I will remind everybody that I'm Professor Mike Latoris. You can reach us for a chat or to get on our air at 1646-VIRUS-01. That's 1646-VIRUS-01. You can check us out at themediavirus.com. Go there for all kinds of links to all the stuff that we do. Our socials are linked there. Our emails are linked there. You can find a link to Just the Tips when we have more Just the Tips to give you. Yeah. Today's show is brought to you by Marshall's Sports Art site over there on Redbubble. Also 100 Hottest Women, and Bill's podcast out there, which is what's Bill's podcast again?
Disruptive Minds.
Disruptive Minds. I didn't want to say that wrong. The Disruptive Minds podcast with staff writer Bill. Believe he goes by his
I don't think he calls himself staff writer Bill.
No, I think he calls himself William Carlin over there. But he's the guy you want to check out over at Disruptive Minds. It really is. It's shaping up to be a good show, and we're gonna help support that because we like what Bill does. He's there's a reason why we keep the guy around. That said, I'm Professor Mike Latoris. On behalf of Matty Rock Def and Grease Monkey Pete, this has been the Media Virus Podcast, episode 142. This was the C Block, and we will be back next week with 143, and hopefully we'll get a bunch of shit fixed and do a better show for you. Until then, I'm Professor Mike Latoris coming from to you live high atop Uncle Butch Studios. And we're back on the C Block. Son of a bitch.